Hi and welcome to this video, how to let go of stress and frustration. Now, this is something that affects an awful lot of people, an awful lot of the time, with some people all of the time. So if you're feeling continuously stressed and frustrated about things, or even if it's just occasionally, we're now going to look at how we can let go of that, how we can overcome that. So first thing is, let's look at what stress is. Now, what you may currently believe is that some external event in your life is causing you stress. So think about it now, something that's causing you stress. It could be a family member, it could be a relationship, it could be something at work or at school or university or whatever it is. So something is you're stressed about, okay? Now, you might currently believe that it is that thing that's causing you stress, okay? But what I want you to see if you can look at is it isn't in fact the stress of that thing or that situation. It's the fact that you want it to be different, okay? So notice that if there is some event, situation, person that you're feeling stress about, and you believe it's because of that person, situation, or event, now look closely, maybe take a step back if you can look at it and realize that actually, no, it's because I want it to be different. I don't want it to be the way that it is. Does that make sense? So our stress is actually caused by us effectively saying, no, I don't want that. I'm pushing back. I'm saying no. So this moment in my life is unfolding, something's happening, and I'm going, no, I don't want it. Does that make sense? What happens when you push against something? If you push hard against something now, wherever you're sitting, if you push against something solid, what happens? When you resist something, when you push back, it causes stress, doesn't it? It causes tension. Whenever we push against something, push back against something, it creates tension in our bodies, physically, mentally, psychologically, when we push back. So notice that what is causing you stress is when there is an event, situation, or person, you're saying, no, I don't want it to be like this. And you're effectively pushing back, saying no. You're not accepting it. You're resisting the reality of what is. Does that make sense? So notice then that the tension, the stress, and what we then call frustration is because we want something to be different than it is. We're resisting it, which causes the stress, and we're refusing to accept it is as it is, which is what causes the frustration. Because in our mind, we're saying, no, but I don't want it like this. I want it like that. Or it could be about the way that you look, about the way that you feel, or something personal about you. And you're getting stressed and frustrated because you don't want it to be like that. Yes? Now, again, there is a technique within the Inner Balance coaching system called Pablo that can really help with this. So we're not going to go through it all now because there's the whole training section about what Pablo is and how to use it, but hopefully you've heard about it by now. But it's a method, a technique that you can use which enables you to deal with situations in a way that will enable you to cease resisting, be more accepting. So basically, if you learn to not push back against something, then you're releasing the resistance, which releases the stress. And if you practice being more accepting of the fact that, well, that's the way that it is, then you release this frustration. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to put up with everything exactly as it is. Again, using the Pablo technique, a part of that is where you look at a situation and you say, okay, is there something I can do about this or nothing I can do about this? Okay. So this is what you need to practice during the whole of Pablo, but we're just going to talk about here the L bit of Pablo, which is to look again at the situation and say, is there something I can do or nothing I can do? Now, if there's something I can do, then I use inner rehearsal, visualization to work out what I can do, see myself doing that, and I go and do the thing that can change the situation to be something that's acceptable. Or I accept, well, there's nothing I can do. It is as it is. I can't change it. So I practice acceptance. Now, by using this technique, you will let go of stress and frustration. So next time you're feeling stress and frustration, notice What you'll start off by doing is telling yourself it's because of her or him or them or this situation, and you'll be blaming the external world. But again, same as everything else on here, it's an inside job. Notice that, hey, no, actually, it's not them. It's the way that I'm thinking about them. It's the fact that I'm not accepting the way that this is, or I'm not accepting the fact that either I can do something about it or there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just whirring it over in my head, telling myself I don't want it to be like this and it shouldn't be like this and it's not fair. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. If you're suffering from stress and frustration, go and use Pablo. Again, you can use the reframe technique. You can use the other meditations, making sure you're using the sleep track, using all of these things. Again, using the 5 a day way to mental well-being, doing these things every day, you will learn to let go of stress and frustration. Good luck.